I'm wrong about most everything. Hello. To want to be me. Shut your mouth. Say no more. Your voice is wrong. And such a bore. Imagine being verified 18 plus on BR Bat. Couldn't be me. It's funny, when I got the urge to do this, I was thinking about how there was that period where I was just streaming long hours in VR chat because I was still trying to make money as a VTuber. But it was like it was so sad depression streaming because I just knew that there was enough like people who enjoyed watching VR chat that if I just streamed for like 12 hours I'd probably get some people to donate some money. And if I just continue to do that every day, like with like, you know, incentives, not incentives, but just, you know, doing the typical pre-VTuber thing of like having a goal and having weird sounds to play and whatever. I knew I'd make enough money to get by, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy, man. I was sad and desperate every time I streamed. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna start streaming VR chat and just sit here until people show up. I can't remember what led to that point, but there was some shit that had been going down that was like that drove me to this point of just like I'm just gonna stream. I think maybe I'd been doing like I was giving up on doing avatars or something. And I was like I'm just gonna stream for streaming's sake. And boy, I was fucking depressed. I was like omega. I was feeling hopeless and sad. What's up, Night Demon? Hi everyone, by the way. Yeah, I was just feeling hopeless and sad. Yeah, I just remember having this like weird determination that I was just gonna stream until streaming worked. until it worked. Until something happened. Something good happened from it. Bro, I'm depressed as fuck, bro. I'm depressed, but not in the same way I was when I was streaming out of desperation like that back in the day. I'm depressed for very normal reasons, like just very normal, natural reasons. I never thought about that till just now because I've been feeling really bummed out all week, but it's all normal shit. It's like basic stuff. It's nothing. My living situation sucks. I'm not making as much money as I'd like to be. All the anti-trans stuff happening because of Trump. Like, it's all very just understandable, natural things. A lot to process. Also, just winter because my place is like a shithole. Isn't been nice. I haven't lived in a well insulated home in like so long, bro. Dude. It's been so long since I've lived in a properly insulated house. Like, I honestly can't imagine. Well, no, I can't imagine what it's like because when I moved here to Oklahoma, I did stay at my parents' every now and then. So I do know what it's like to be in a well-insulated home. It's very nice. I miss it. I miss living in an insulated home. God, I so wish. God, I so wish. I wish we lived in a time where you could get a studio apartment where for like dirt cheap. Where I think about that all the time, bro. I think about that all the time about how like there was a point in life where when you thought about when you had a decent income and you were thinking about getting a place, like going to get an apartment. It wasn't a matter of can I afford an apartment at all or not. It was can I afford like a 1 or 2 bedroom versus a studio versus a small studio? Like it was considered to be like you were considered to be kind of like a poor if you could only afford a small studio apartment. Like that was considered being poor. And now you have to like you have to have pretty decent money to get even a studio apartment, bro. It's fucking crazy. I've gotten to the point with me and the internet that I just like if the internet dies, it's time for me to take a nap or go draw on pen and paper or exercise or a plethora of other things. It's just time to go do something else. Anytime internet dies, I just take it as a sign that time to go take a break. It's time to go touch grass. Told me I was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Well, I'm a goat just looking for love. Told me I was a black hole demon. Well, I'm just a fairy looking for friends. It's interesting. I haven't streamed VR chat in a long time. Man, I will admit I do miss. I have been a little recently missing. I've been feeling a little bit of the pull of just like getting people to come to the stream by doing my my VTuber bullshit on my socials. I don't regret giving up the ZMouse socials to doing music and art. Still don't regret that, but I'd be a liar to say I don't miss the fun of being a shit posting VTuber and having people show up to the stream. And yeah, Night Demon, we're fully in the watered down. Like VTubers are just streamers now. It's just streamers. they're just streamers. I mean, that's what it was always going to be. I was a Wraith main. I was Wraith and I was Bloodhound. But it's been so long. I think I chose Wraith because yeah. No, my name was literally like Apex Legends TTV. It was some meme name. I had a stupid meme name, and it's funny because I actually killed. It was an Overwatch McCree main who decided to play Apex Legends for the first time, and I killed him. I got the kill on him, and I was so excited. But he was literally just like hunkered down, with his teammates in a really dumb position because they were scared, and he wasn't playing with sweaty people, and he wasn't sweaty, but on his stream he was like, oh my god, stupid TTV kids. But it was just a meme name. I feel like I have a good gaming rotation right now. It's like Balatro, Cruel, and I'm probably gonna start doing a Minecraft world again. I decided, because every time I start a new Minecraft world, all I want to do is I want to create a collection. I want to have a Minecraft world that I commit to, and I go collect all the things. And I never do it. I never commit to it because I get bogged down at some point for some reason doing something or other, and I never commit to it. And I have a lot of like, no, I'm not gonna fucking play Minecraft with people I don't know. I hate you. God. In matter of fact, what I was gonna say is, I have so much PTSD from streaming Minecraft, even though I like streaming it because it's there's been so many times I've streamed Minecraft during the viral times when like I swear to God I was streaming Minecraft as I was dying as a viral VTuber. Like as I was falling off as a viral VTuber, I was streaming Minecraft. And so I literally have like trauma and PTSD of seeing my chat slowly die off as I'm streaming Minecraft, you know? And then on top of that, it was one of my returning to streaming streams playing Minecraft where no one was showing up that I had the blood vessel burst in my eye. So I booted up the stream, I was depressed, I was in the gremlin avatar, I started streaming. The people who were showing up in chat were just people I didn't really want to talk to, but I had to sit there and try to be nice. And then all of a sudden I noticed this weird distortion in my vision growing, and I was just like, oh my fucking god. I was just like, oh, I gotta go guys, bye. And I was just like, I was so miserable, dude. And it was after TJ died. It was after the last two of my cats died. It was just like, it was so miserable, bro. So I couldn't have trauma with like streaming Minecraft, even though I do like playing it, and even though I do want to create a world that I commit to and like, you know, do all the Minecraft things. Were you there for that, Demon? You might have been there. That was awful, bro. Like I whenever I do a stream where no one's really talking or no one showed up, and I literally do have like this like trauma response where all of a sudden I start thinking about like, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be streaming to no one, or at least no one who's talking and very few people watching. I'm gonna have like a stroke or something, you know? Like I'm just gonna have like a devastating like life event, and like it's gonna be so depressing and sad because no one's there to like it just feels like a low point, you know? It's like already at a low point, and then like no one, it's like no one cares enough to be there, and then have a life-shattering event live on stream. It's just gonna be like insult to injury, like literally. What's up, QV? But that, mind you, that mental process only happens when I'm streaming because I feel like I have to. If I'm streaming just for fun, then who fucking cares, right? But when I was in the mindset of streaming because I felt like I had to, it was just, I had this like anxiety about like something bad happening while I stream. I don't remember the last time I've consistently streamed long VR chat hours. I don't know if VR chat's still the kind of place where if you stream long enough you just get random people showing up because they're looking for cool people to hang out with in a VR chat stream. I don't know if that still exists. And I definitely don't care enough to hang out in VR chat constantly to see if it does. It was fun though. It was always fun running into people. Running into the random anime VR chat simps. Simp farming, that was fun. It was fun, but it was also something that I hated. And it's really funny that VR chat's just become that. The VR chat category has just become like Chatterbait Light, anime Chatterbait Light. Always has been, I guess. I keep forgetting I keep forgetting about my Rexon era. I'm just gonna call it the Rexon era, even though it wasn't it became the Rexon era, but I keep forgetting about it. I keep forgetting that there was a point where I straight up just like was just milking the fuck out of like I wouldn't even say milking the fuck out of like Fillion fan base, but I was really trying to like I was trying to reach a bigger VTuber audience by relating to people who might enjoy Fillion. That whole era was like nuts. That was a lot. And you know what? That era ended. That era pretty much ended with Beyond Echo. Finding out that Beyond Echoes got into VR chat and then started hanging out with teenagers. That was like the end of that era. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so done. Yeah, I feel like these days I stream just because. To me, streaming these days is more like a loot box. It's like, it's a loot box I'm only willing to put in about an hour or two into. And the loot box, the reward is who shows up in chat is my reward. It used to be about money, but now it's just who shows up in chat. Told me I was a wolf in sheep's clothing. No! Although I found out on... You know what's funny? Okay, so I started putting together... so I haven't released any new drawings recently because I haven't really been feeling like doing my normal doodles and sketches. And what I did start doing was I started creating a base for new adoptables. And for those of you who don't know, adoptables are where you essentially draw. Like a lot of people do it by creating a drawing or creating a drawing format where it's easy to just make a bunch of different variations of it, and then they'll sell each one for really cheap. Or it's just essentially like they draw an OC and then sell it, you know, for a lot of money because it's like more customized or whatever. And I was going through my old illustrations and I did adoptables for a short period, these like cute furry adoptables. I think I sold about 10 of them. And I created a base and then I customized the base to be 10 unique characters. And yeah, it was really cool. I went back and looked at them. They look really nice. And I sold each one for about like, I think it was like anywhere between $10 and $25. Anyways, I was like, man, I should do adoptables in my current drawing style. And what it's turned into is this ongoing doodle project where I just like, I draw a hair, like a hairstyle. I draw, you know, a set of eyes. I draw horns. And so I have this like growing collection of this like, essentially I'm inadvertently creating a character builder. And so I have like, you know, half a dozen eyes, I have half a dozen mouths, hair, ears, horns, furry ears, and I haven't even gotten to starting to draw the body and everything. But it really is just keeping me drawing while I don't feel like drawing, you know, my normal doodles. Because I haven't been feeling very inspired. But anyways, I bring this up because I get on Coinbase today, and then I get on their wallet platform, which allows you to trade meme coins. And then I find out you can mint NFTs. And I was like, wait a second. I literally am creating like an NFT generator by accident. I just happened to be creating an NFT generator right as I log into a website where I can mint NFTs. I was like, ain't no way, bro. I ain't about to start doing it, but I just thought it was a funny coincidence. I don't think there's a real genuine art collector's market for NFTs. I think there's a bunch of people who are just, you know, a bunch of scam artists hyping each other's shit coins and then making NFTs related to those shit coins. It's just grifters, grifting grifters, essentially. I would hate for my art to be sullied in that market, even if I did get lucky and then someone attached themselves to my to my art and bought shit. I wouldn't feel good about it. Yeah, I've been giving the stock market a second go recently, just because I finally learned about options and how options work. And so I put a limited amount of money in that I'm willing to lose. Like it's a very negligible amount, but it's still enough to make decent money off of. And I made $150 off my first try at it, and I was like, okay, well, this is viable and doable. And so I've been taking the money I earn and diversifying it and trying out a bunch of different things. I'm giving myself 1 week, and if I can continue to make gains, then I'll give myself a month and just go from there. But it's the weekend, so there's no stock market stuff happening, which is why I decided to get into meme coins tonight. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll put like $20 into some meme coins and see what happens. I was mining Bitcoin back in the day. If I'd still had my Bitcoin from when I last had it and sold it, I'd have like $40,000 or $50,000. Like I had a fair amount of Bitcoin. I literally mined my own Bitcoin. It made me think about something today when I was trying to understand options, and I was trying to figure out about, you know, because I've played the stock market before and made money. But as I was sitting here and trying to understand everything, and I was learning stuff, and then I was doing my research on different, you know, stocks and whatnots. And as I've gotten much deeper into it, like I have a whole spread of options right now. I was like, you know, I'm a pretty smart person. Like I'm not totally stupid. And I feel like I've seen dumber people be successful in the stock market, and I was like, maybe I should stick with this for a little while. Give it a proper go. Maybe I've seen much more foolish people do really well in the stock market, so we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't feel like it's working out this week, though, or you know, like I said, I put in as much as I'm willing to lose. So if I lose it all in a week, or if I'm not making good gains, I'm not going to keep going for it. But it did occur to me as I had this like spread of stock options that maybe I might be good at it. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know, man. To me, looking at stocks and the stock market and just having like just even a general knowledge and understanding of like the rhythm of investing, and then knowing why a company is doing what they're doing, it just seems pretty like easy. Like it doesn't seem that complicated. You just have to have patience, and there's, especially with stock options, there's so many safe bets with stock options that it feels like you can just kind of nickel and dime your way to decent money. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for the market to open back up on Monday, because I started on Thursday, I think, and then I took my initial windfall on Friday. I did my first like spread, No, like I said, I'm only putting in money that I'm willing to lose. Also, I'm not. I can generate income. Like it's not like the way that I see it is like. Also, I'm also putting money in long-term retirement investment. So it's not like I have an IRA. I'm not doing dumb shit with this. Thank you for your concern. I am not doing dumb. I hate talking about this because I feel like I'm so new to it. I don't have the proper language to like speak about it. Yeah, but that's the thing is like and this is where I could be wrong, but I really feel like my intuition for I feel like what I'm talking about. I feel like my intuition. I think it does work for. I think this is what I'm saying is I think you're right. It doesn't work for everyone because not everyone it has the same intuition. Like not everyone's smart, bro. And I mean, this is how people who are adept at the stock market do make money. Not everyone is capable of it, but what I'm saying is that there are certain people who are, and I'm not saying I'm one of those people. I'm saying if I can be one of those people. I'm saying if I have what it takes to be one of those people. I think my biggest thing is just going to be like I have to continue that philosophy of like of rolling over profits into of keeping things small, in other words. Like it's going to be I understand the temptation to make like I have a long shot right now that has potential to make $40,000, right? Off of a small amount of money. And that's the only reason I was willing to do it is cuz I it's a long shot, but it could happen. The likelihood is not is I wouldn't say it's 50-50, but it's definitely closer to 50-50 than it's closer to 0. And if I did make 40K, you know, the temptation to be like, well, this is money I didn't have in the first place, so I'm gonna roll that 40K back over into another long shot. Like that's where people fuck up. That's where people fuck up, and I see this happen all the time on Wall Street bets. Is people they do a lot of they either get lucky or they do a lot of smart stuff with a small amount of money. They make a lot of money, and then they roll that big amount of money again, thinking it's gonna happen again, and then they lose everything. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was saying earlier about how like if you're smart about it, you don't ever like you cash out and you cash out and you never let yourself get caught up in the in winning. You should always play like you're poor, even if you make money. That's what I'm trying to say, and I think that's probably why a lot of people stay poor is because they think they're invincible and they keep going. Also, I'd be scared if I ever made that much money off of. If I start making an ass ton of money off the market, I'd be scared I'd end up on some kind of list. I'm already gonna end up on a list for being trans. I don't want to end up on a list for like making too much money in crypto. They're not watching until they are, bro. Shitcoins and meme coins are so funny because it's literally built on hype from within the crypto investment community. So all of it's like everyone's playing chicken with shitcoins and meme coins. It's like it's essentially a unified pump and dump, but everyone's in on the joke, and it's chicken. Everyone's playing chicken with how long they're willing to stay in before they all cash out. It is so fucking funny, dude. It's so funny and it's so obvious. And it's the funniest thing it's like collective. It's also with like a side of MLM, right? Or like pyramid schemes where it's like they try to bring they try to dupe people to come on board as they push a meme coin. And those are the people who get left with the bag, you know? And also the people who didn't get out before everyone started selling. Like, it's just so funny. And it's so obvious. Yeah, exactly. Or the Trump coin, yeah. Oh my god, I remember Night Demon. That reminds me of, it was also middle school where we were talking about, God, it was, I can't remember the class now, but we were talking about we were doing a class project on, like, it was like a group project. It was a project on, I can't remember now. All I know is that we had to make a decision within our group about what would be better for this, like, imaginary circumstance in which a moon base was created, I think. And we had to choose between science or research or raising funds or something like that. It was like, do we concentrate on research or do we concentrate on raising funds? I just remember there was like two options like that or something. And I'll never forget, I was like so fixated on the idea that we needed research to create this moon base. And then someone else in the group was like, well, we need the money to build the moon base. And then I was like, what are we going to build? I was like, what are we going to build the foundation of the moon base with? Cash? Like, I don't know why it was so funny to me, but I was like, what materials are we going to use to build the moon base? Cash? And it's funny because looking back on it now, it makes sense because you have to raise money before you can do research, you know. But for me, at the time, I was thinking fundamentally just like money being. I wasn't thinking about money needing money for the investment of research. I was just thinking about doing research purely for research's sake. And God, I felt so self-righteous during that. I felt like I was so in the right. I was like, how are we even going to have a moon base in the first place if there's no research? I swear to God, the context of it was money to build the moon base. It wasn't money towards research. It was literally. I wish I knew what the project was now, because I was so mad. Yeah, thinking back to this, especially because it was middle school that I'm thinking of in particular. I think I always had this like notion of like there's just certain kids in middle school and high school who I felt like they were taking things too seriously, and they were treating things too much like adults. And to me, it was just like, bro, we are not adults. Like that was my thought process. Like during classes involving things that were way too serious, I was just like, bro, we are not adults. Stop pretending like we're adults. Like I had that specific notion back in middle school and high school, just like, why are people acting like this? We're not adults. Like, it makes sense in terms of like obviously preparing everyone for the future, but I feel like I mean, with at least the American Texas school system, it was so everything was so haphazardly taught, you know what I mean? Like, it never felt like and I remember thinking this. After high school or at the end of high school, I was like, why don't they give us a freaking actual practical, like, why is there no practical finances class, right? There's no practical finances class. There's no getting your first apartment class. There was no there's no practical living classes. There was nothing involving taxes and getting a job and resume and like all this stuff to really prepare you for life, like just pragmatic practical advice class. There was never anything like that. And I remember being so mad about it as I got into the real world. I remember as I got into the real world, I was just like, why is this not a thing? Like, why did they not do this? What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why did they not teach us any of this shit? And I guess it's supposed to be what your parents teach you or something. I don't know. But when you have parents who essentially are just sending you off to, like, when half your life is at school while your parents are working. My parents both worked full time. You know, it's like they're not exactly. I don't know. I don't know if it was like this for everyone in my generation, but like, I think my parents genuinely fully expected school to teach me everything. they were very much kind of like hands off, just expecting school to teach me, or expecting me to just figure it the fuck out, you know? Which I had to, and which I did. I wish I was a trans person. I didn't have to pay taxes. Since I don't exist anymore. Oh, I just realized I can literally just cash out my $3. Probably, I don't know how much. Oh yeah, since I'm just trading, I could roll that $3 into a different shitcoin. It's happening, guys. We're doing it. I have to go find a cheap shitcoin to toss $3 into. They have a For You page of coins to get into. That's crazy, bro. There's a meme coin called Mog coin. And the symbol is a crying, laughing. I think it is. It looks like a crying, laughing cat. And apparently it's been tanking. And then there's another coin called Slap coin that apparently is like a new hotness, although it's not popping off right now. Oh no, it's called Cat Slap. It's literally just it's literally like the coin, the graphic is just a cat with his paw out. People have invested $570,000 into Cat Slap so far. Or wait, no, that's the 24-hour volume. It's $4.4 billion. Or wait, 4.4 billion, not dollars. No, that's how many slaps have been issued so far. Sorry. People like I know a guy. I actually know a guy. I know a guy in VRChat who went deep into shitcoin when it first started popping off, and he was talking about how, like, I think he took all of his it was during COVID. I think he took all the money he got from the stimmy checks and put it into shitcoin, and for a brief period was like living good because of it, and then lost all of it. I was like, no, there ain't no way, man. There ain't no way. That's crazy, bro. On shitcoin, dude. Like, what the fuck? He was one of those guys who, like, I don't even know how to describe him. I loved him. I still love him, but he, every time I ever took a break from VRChat and just unfriended everyone, he always took it way too personally. Really nice guy. Really cool, like, really nice guy. Really incredible demeanor. Very funny. Maybe thinks a little bit too much of his own intelligence, but is incredibly intelligent, right? But then he would, like, continually date psychopathic women who treated him like absolute shit. Like, he would just enslave himself to the worst, like, the worst women. He would tolerate some of the worst people because he was very much into, you know, VRChat, meme, edgelord, whatever. so I guess he had a dark side to him, is the way you'd say it. And then yeah, he like getting past that facade of like intelligence and coolness. There was just underlying, just like, God, it's just fucked upness. Because he would just rage at me via DMs whenever I took a break from VR chat, and he took it very personally that like I was like unfriending him in VR chat. I can't believe this. You've broken me. You've destroyed who I like. It's just like, dude, chill the fuck out. I'm like going into my rabbit hole away from everyone. Like, it's nothing personal. He took it like so insanely personally. Which is crazy because I loved him. Like, I genuinely thought he was super cool. Oh yeah, no, the VR chat is, oh my god, I can say this once and for all. Finally and forever, without any shame whatsoever. I've said it, I've touched upon it, and I've had moments of ranting, but I've always felt a little awkward about it. But I can definitely say now with full confidence once and for all that VR chat is full of the worst brain rot on the internet. VTubers, VR chat, Grand Theft Auto, roleplay, pretty much any online community, but the closer you get to people living a virtual life, the worse the brain rot gets. I'll never forget, I had a friend who, once again, I got along with and I thought was really nice and everything, get mad because I disappeared from VR chat for a while. I come back, I re-add him, and then he immediately is just like, you have the nerve of coming back. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, you've seen me go through this before. And they're just like, I never liked you, calling me and my friends Nazis. I was like, bro, you were literally in a Hitler avatar that was throwing gold around, talking about how it was Jew gold. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, it was just a joke. My friends Jewish, and they thought that it was hilarious. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. That shit's not cool. Like, if you're mad at me about that, then like, I guess we're just not friends. Like, that's just not cool, dude. If that's it, then fuck it. We're not friends. I'm not sad that we're not friends over. If that's the breaking point for you, bro, we are not friends. It's okay. I'm fine. Guys, I have a rant channel, by the way. If you guys haven't gone to the new YouTube and subscribe, you should go subscribe. I have made it specifically for those of you who like to listen to me talk. If you wanna hear me talk on a daily basis, it's something I used to do a long time ago. Like, I haven't done a rant channel like this in a long time. Because I literally did used to just... The last time I remember doing a rant channel like this was genuinely in this spirit, was back during the peak of my guitar pedal days when I was like, it must have been like 2009 maybe? Where I had... Yeah, a channel where I literally just like talked about stuff. And God, I don't have any. Actually, I might have those videos on a DVD backup somewhere. I should go look for that. I don't even know if I have a DVD drive. I don't have a DVD drive. I just realized that. And I just try to keep the words flowing for at least 10 minutes. Yeah, I know that there's been a lot of you guys who like that. So, anyways, there's a channel. It's under the socials in the Discord. But I'm really am hoping, based on what I know about consistency on YouTube, that the rant channel will eventually like pick up and take off a little bit. I might start doing VTuber. I might start doing shorts on the rant channel with affirmations and stuff. I might experiment with shorts specifically for the rant channel. My whole goal with the rant channel is I don't want to edit videos, because here my inspiration besides giving you guys something to listen to who like to listen to me, is I'm so sick of running into YouTube channels where it's some literally nobody. It's just some literal fucking nobody who is speaking with a certain element of confidence, who gets 100,000 views per video, and their video is literally just them walking through a park talking about bullshit. I'm just like, bro, if these motherfuckers can do this, I can do this. Like, I'm so tired of seeing it. Like, and I'm not expecting it to happen, because at its foundation, I'm just trying to do it for people who already are in my community who like to hear me talk about stuff. But I am holding out a little bit of hope that, like, maybe the algorithm will find me my right people, because I've never consistently done anything like this on YouTube, and you know, I can just be one of those channels. Yeah, Evil Morty. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I remember this from a long time ago when I was doing it, and I'm the same way. Like, you know, there's certain channels I just really enjoy putting on in the background. And then, you know, if you, when you haven't got caught up with them, you just end up playing through all of them or whatever. It's I've had to get over myself. It's weird talking about this shit like I'm doing it like a public service, but like, I've had to get over myself, right? Like, this has been one of the biggest things that's been happening to me this past month, as I move forward, just doing whatever feels right, as opposed to trying to do things because I think I need to do them. Getting over myself and just accepting the fact that even though I didn't attain that big VTuber I didn't attain that, like, chibi-doki level of fame where people just want to go clip anything and everything I do, right? And I have this, like, broad-reaching admiration from people. Even though I don't feel like I ever achieved that, at least in a way that it was seems obvious to me. I still do have a bunch of people who just, I need to get over myself in the sense that even though I feel like a failure and that no one fucking cares, there's a lot of people who care. And what I mean by care is, I mean, like, I've touched enough people, and there's enough people who vibe with my bullshit that, like, I should just keep creating my bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I should just keep doing it and just trust that, like, that it's doing something nice for people. Because that's the thing, is, at the end of the day, like, yeah, I wish I could make a living doing this, because I am not. This is the absolute rock bottom of me making a living off of doing this stuff. But it's not about that for me. It really isn't. It really is about connecting with people, and if I can help alleviate people's suffering on even a small level, just by being myself, that is peak. That's where it's at right there, bro. That's the shit right there. That's the good stuff. Why can't I can't see my thing. Hold on. Oh, there it is. The only reason they become famous is to be fake? What the fuck does that mean? Do I have avatar sounds turned off? I can't see it. You can also squeeze the tits and they honk. I hate this avatar so much. For today's rant, you guys get to learn about how Donald Trump took away trans rights. Like, actually, for realsy. Like, every trans person in America lost rights today. This week. Very cool. Very cool. Very pog. That's a joke, by the way. It's not. I'm not being serious. It's actually it's awful and trash. Yeah, it ain't like a joking. What the fuck did he do this time? He actually took away trans rights. So because of his executive order stating that gender, there's only two genders in America, male and female, and that gender is based on conception. What your gender is at conception, which is scientifically means we're all female, but whatever. It's had a trickle-down effect in which I think it was the vice president or someone declared that passports shouldn't be given to people who have non-binary, the X marker. But in the process of doing that, they halted just all gender. Any passport involving a gender change is halted. If you send any information to the passport agency, the state or whatever it is, involving getting your gender changed, they literally will just keep all your documents, and they're just not doing transgender passports right now at all. Exactly. So if you want a passport right now, you have to do it based on your birth gender. If you are unfortunate enough to not get, so there are certain states where you can change your gender on your birth certificate, right? So if it's a state that you can change your gender on your birth certificate, then you're golden. You just keep, just lie. Don't tell them you're transgender. Just go with your birth certificate. Yada yada yada. But if you have to do it based on a document from a doctor that says, you're trans, then they will not change. They will just hold it at the passport office. So there's a bunch of people who were in the process of getting, they actually were trying to do it before Trump became president, and now they're all on hold. And some of them have places to be. Some of them are actually, trans people who are planning trips and shit, and are now, it's just all in limbo. And then of course anyone who was expecting an X on their passport for non-binary, those are just done. Like that's not happening. But the difference between this year and any other year before this is the big steps that Trump is taking, that I don't feel like, I could be wrong, maybe I wasn't as aware, but I don't think he was doing his first term. This has happened under every president for as far back as I remember. Every president's had overreach. Every president has been involved with some crazy batshit stuff, right? Like, And sometimes, and I sometimes wonder if the difference between now and then is back then it was all cloaked in such a way that made it feel like it made a little bit more sense. But now it just feels a little bit more unhinged. It doesn't feel grounded in reality in quite the same way that it used to. And I've always felt scared whenever I try to stand up for trans people as a trans person, being someone who has been relatively high profile in the guitar pedal industry, and I have suffered for that. I really, I am continually devastated by how few people in the guitar gear industry, and by few people I mean how literally no one in the guitar gear industry has ever reached out to me and asked me if I'm okay, or been like, I'm so sorry what happened to you, or I get it now. Like, no one's ever done that in the guitar gear industry. I wasn't even trying to do trans activism. That's the crazy thing, Morty. But literally just by being trans and being high profile, it like forces you into activism, you know? At the end of the day, all I care about is, in terms of my gender identity, is just not getting hassled. And so if I have to go back to identifying as male on my legal documents just to not get hassled, then fucking fine, I will. But man, it's gonna be awkward going into the men's, if it gets to the point where I have to show documents to go into a fucking bathroom. Well, I haven't gone into a gender, well, I guess I have gone into a women's bathroom ever since because I present female now. I worked really hard to integrate as a woman in real life. And I'm just telling you, it's like, it's gonna be awkward going into a guy's bathroom, looking the way I do now. The big what if, the big scary, the truly scary, like, the thing that everyone's freaking out about is, like, is this gonna lead to arrests? I don't think it's gonna get so bad that it's internment camps, but we already have internment camps in America. It's called prison. Like, it already exists. I don't think they're gonna build special internment camps for people. I think they're just gonna start arresting queers and trans people who don't fall in line with norms. Like, that is the worst case scenario. I still hold out hope because I feel like I've seen enough social media numbers on TikTok and stuff and on Reddit where it feels like there's still a lot of people who care. And I think the amount of people who care, at least in certain parts of the country, definitely outweigh the people who hate, right? I still think there's like pockets of good, concentrated pockets of good in the country. And here's another a big difference between America and Nazi Germany. It's that people need to remember when they start doom spiraling, which is the circumstances that drove Nazi Germany to the circumstances that happened in Nazi Germany, and I could be wrong about this. Like, I'd be glad to be challenged on this, but Germany at the time of the rise of Nazism, it's a smaller place, and it was a people who lacked an identity. There was a lot going on that had to do with the size of the country, I guess is my point. America is a big place, and I just, and maybe I'm wrong about this, and I would be glad to be challenged on this, but I feel like one of the aspects of it would take a lot more, I feel like it would take a lot more people to control America in the same way that the Nazis controlled Germany. Literally because America is so fucking enormous. You know what I mean? Like, I think literally from a logistics standpoint, it would require so many people to go full Nazi fascists. You know what I mean? Like the amount of people it would take. Like, I don't think the amount of people who even voted for Trump are that committed to their hatred. I could be wrong on all of this. Like, I mean, I just, everything in my gut tells me that we're not to that point yet, right? Yeah, I mean, that's, once again, that's not to say that, I think it'd be more likely that trans people will have to be facing prison sentences for like I think it'd be more likely we're gonna, like, a first step would be it being illegalized, it being made illegal to use like the wrong bathroom, essentially, that kind of stuff. That would be like first. I think things involving prison sentences, we're gonna see that before we see anything else. This thing with the passport shit is going to be challenged by the ACLU, and definitely going to be challenged by a lot. I know a lot of lawyers. But the thing is this. I think the thing with me is like, so the checks and balances of the U.S. is such that the courts are going to start. A lot of this stuff's going to be started taken to court, right? Like, shit's going to be going to court. People are going to be going to court on a lot of stuff. And this is the whole checks and balances nature of the U.S. is, unfortunately, with executive orders, Trump is allowed to. They're allowed to make a lot of big decisions, and people have to follow them to a certain extent. But then those decisions can be challenged in court. The problem is that the court is now controlled mainly by Republicans. The House and like everything in the federal government's mainly being controlled by Republicans. So even though it's going to go through the rule of law, it being controlled by Republicans and also being controlled by these far right Republicans, there's a high likelihood that a lot of this stuff's going to go through and become law. Like that could be the case. Like, that could be upheld. Bro, I'm genuinely, like, with what I'm doing in my life and my goals and stuff, technically speaking, this is all a minor inconvenience for me, because I am perfectly willing to live with a male gender on my information, right? And I think, like, however that will affect me wanting to visit Japan and maybe move to Japan. I mean, I was gonna have to deal with that shit regardless, just because, you know, a foreigner who's trans in Japan, whether I go by F or M, I'm 6'2", I'm androgynous, like, it's whatever. Like, I knew I was gonna deal with that shit regardless. So this all shouldn't be that big of a deal for me. Because I'm gender fluid, makes this all very malleable for me. That doesn't mean I don't give a shit about my trans brothers and sisters, my non-binary friends, you know, like, people, like, my heart goes out and I actually give a shit, like, I care. And this stuff affects me on a deep and fundamental level. Also because, like, it's just trauma, bro. it's relived trauma, because and this is what I've been going through this week. This week's been, like, really rough, is I'm just reliving all this bullshit I've had to deal with because I'm an outsider in terms of gender expression and an understanding. This is the worst part about it, it's the Cthulhu nature of being queer like this, is you have this, like, fundamental understanding of the way the world works in a way that cis het people don't have to think about. So while I'm sitting here just literally, like, 1,000-yard stare, going through it mentally and emotionally, thinking about all the things I've been through already, then also reliving past traumas and the traumas of my friends, and then seeing other people go through it, and then I'm sitting here next to Joe Bumfuck, you know, who is just having the time of their life online, doing whatever, blissfully unaware of all this shit. Or I'm looking at, you know, Jill activist on TikTok who is so excited about all the hashtags they're going to hashtag, and meanwhile I'm seeing actual trans people suffering and no one coming to their aid. It's a lot. It's a lot. I would love nothing more than to check out mentally on all this stuff. I want to go back to my Delulu fantasy land. I miss it. I miss feeling Delulu fantasy time. To me, the worst part isn't the bigots. It's not the bigots that get me. It's the lip service from the allies that get me. And if there's one thing I can leave you guys with, because I am about to leave, if there's one thing I can leave you guys with, if there's the one thing I want to see resonate, it's stop with the lip service. Call people out on their lip service. It needs to be actionable. People need to take action. And this is the way it's always been with trans people. There's not that many trans people, bro. It shouldn't be that hard to lift up every single trans person in the world. In America especially. There's not that many of us. So it shouldn't be as hard as it is to lift us up. And this is, my frustration doesn't come from the bigots. There will always be bigots. My frustration comes from the supposed allies who aren't actually there for trans people. That's my frustration. I don't think people realize how easy it would be to help trans people. There's so few of us. It's crazy how much of a scourge they think we are, while at the same time we're such a small portion of the population that it'd be easy to help. Like, it's so crazy. But yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. As soon as I can figure out how to hang up this phone call with you, ring ring banana phone, bye.